All right. Hey, how's it going, man?
Pretty good, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing really well, thank you. So tell me about your week.
Well, it's been a pretty good week. Did a couple calls, but the best part is, I managed to get some callbacks from people I touched base with, and had an opportunity to have a longer discussion. And so far, so good. It's been pretty fruitful, and just hoping to secure a actual moment where I can sign with them. But I've been giving them some great information, and it feels like I'm adding some value so far.
Okay. Awesome. So you said getting some callbacks, which is a good thing. You had a longer discussion.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned you're looking for an opportunity to be able to get them to sign.
Yeah, ideally that'd be nice if I can get them to sign
Okay.
a listing agreement.
Okay, perfect.
Mm.
Yeah, 100%, right? And I think we'll go deeper into that as well as we go more into the call, if that's all right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, awesome. So well, give me a couple wins, man. Give us a couple wins for the
Oh
week.
man. Had an open house maybe about two months ago. Met a buyer, got them into a home maybe 6 weeks after meeting them. So they're under contract there, and
Congrats.
already in a con. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm very excited. He also had a condo, so he let me list the condo, and I just got that sold this week. Um, but during the period that I was open housing his condo, I met another buyer. I just got her under contract this week as well. So pretty outstanding. And another property that I got under contract back in, gosh, February, man. Got that under contract, but it was with Rowan County, and beautiful property actually. It's being managed by an administrator, and is 3/4 of an acre,
Mm,
with a home that is 1,800 square feet in excellent condition, for under 250,000. So um,
wow.
yeah, we got the word that we're ready. We're good to go with the state of with Rowan County, and we should be ready to close in 30 days from now. So that's three under contract this week. So it's pretty outstanding.
Yeah,
So things are looking
amazing.
good. Yes, sir.
Three. So that's a pretty solid week for you, man. That's good job. Three
And then
on.
someone just called me this
Yeah.
morning. Someone that I worked with a couple weeks ago. Sadly, we didn't win on a bid, but they felt still compelled to come back and want to work with me. So
Mm,
interesting, scenario where we didn't win. We had matter of fact, they
yeah.
lost their due diligence, but I stayed in touch. I kept feeding them information, and to my surprise, and it really shouldn't be, but um, she hit me up today and said, "Hey, I'm still in the game." And I guess she like anyone else, you lick your wounds and you're back for more. So she's still sticking with me.
Good for you, man.
Thank you.
So what do you think's causing all this momentum for you?
I'll be honest with you, man. I believe it is admitting that um, there are things I don't know, and as a result, I need to partner with peers or even consultants, the likes of yourself, who can give
Okay.
me some feedback. So, going onto platforms like Clubhouse, which is how I found you, as a matter of fact, Dave,
Yeah, yeah, I know.
hearing what you had to say, hearing what the guys on that team had to say, getting beat up a little bit,
Yeah.
I think the last call went like this: Dwayne, you keep coming back here. You're not reading your scripts. Come back when you read your scripts, man. You sound like a smart guy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if those are the exact words, but
No, it
yeah,
wasn't. It wasn't, but it was
something
my
like that.
interpretation.
Yeah. Well, so I get it. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. You keep showing up, right? You're putting in the work. You're showing up. Like you said, you had an open mindset, right? You're coachable, which is why we decided to do business together. And yeah, so awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats, man. We're gonna keep that going for you.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
So, so let me ask you this. What's the one thing, the most important thing you want to get out of our time today?
Man, feedback, feedback.
All right.
Um,
Feedback.
yeah, feedback.
Okay. What do you tell me more about when you say feedback?
I mean, I understand that it's important to learn these scripts. Yet alone, I think I've always been a likable person. I had 10 years of technology where I was the guy they sent to give all the bad news to our clients. Um, I don't know what's up with the good news. I'd like to have more of that to give, but it was pretty important to them that I gave the bad news. So it showed me that I had a connection with people and I can connect easily. So I think, as I goes into the scripting, a part of me argues with it. I feel like, yeah, I need to do this, but it doesn't sound and feel like me. It doesn't feel too authentic. But yet,
Mm,
I want to show results, and from the role plays that I've been doing, it's pretty clear that the people who are successful are the ones who have repeatable processes. So, I'm trying to, turn the corner on that, as well as turn the corner on what else I can do as I meet people and try to get more leads out of the people I've been working on. So that's the kind of thing I'm interested in.
okay. So you said a couple of things. You started off with feedback, but then you went to scripting, and then we at the end talked about leads, getting more leads. So first off, help me when you say you're looking for feedback from me, what exactly how do I get you feedback on that? Like,
Well,
let's say, yeah.
I think what I've been getting from a lot of the experienced realtors is that it's all about leads. You're a consultant, you're a real estate agent, but it's all about the leads. But it's also about what you don't do, what you do when the lights are off. When you're not in front of your client, how you're practicing on your scripting, who are you scripting with. Sometimes it feels like the scripting seems a little outlandish, and that you're going to come across people who
Mm,
are going to be very contentious and rude and abrupt. And I really haven't come across that. It's either, in my opinion, either they do want to work with you or they don't. And for me, it feels more like more people do want to work with me. It's just that it's timing, or it's a negative perception of the past realtors, or how those phone calls have gone. When they've been called, have they been adversarial, that kind of thing. So I don't think I'm either of the two, adversarial or pushy, but yet still the feedback
well,
helps.
so okay, so I'm just still trying to understand like I get what you're saying. And I'm taking notes if it's all right. Just that's why I'm typing. So I remember this, for our next
Yeah.
call. Like when you say, like, do you want a script and you want me to give you feedback, or like, do you want me to listen to your scripts? Like, I guess I'm still trying to understand what you refer.
I think I'm just trying to work with what to say without sounding too salesy. Better yet said, to be more
Okay.
concise. What to say without being too salesy. Still remain genuine,
Sure.
but be reminded that at the end of the day, when I should be using my script, is it to be, obviously to close? Is it obviously to get the win, whatever, but I guess what I'm looking to get the feedback on is what to say when I hear certain things,
Got it. Okay. All right. Fair enough. So when do we want to use scripts is we want to use them to be more effective, right? That's the bottom line. Because I'm a good winger, and you probably, like you said, you were in that position before. You talked to people and gave them bad news, so there was a lot of empathy there, I'm sure. But you said in something else you mentioned, you said people either want to work with me or they don't. So it's easy when people want to work with you. The challenge is going to be when people, maybe it's not necessarily that they don't want to work with you. Maybe they just don't have enough information to work with you, right? Maybe there's something else on their mind. So that's when you can become really, really effective at your conversations and help people become more certain in what they do want to do. Does that make sense? I mean, that's something that, I share with you guys all the time that I learned from Grant is help people become certain, create certainty.
Exactly. I think you hit it on the head, because I've had neighbors who know I am a realtor. I talk to them all the time, and yet they still went with someone else. Yet alone, they've never given me a rebuttal even. They've even gone ahead and
They've never given you what? I'm sorry.
they never given me a rebuttal like, no, Dwayne, we're not interested, or they were like, yeah, when the time is right, we'll let you know. Yeah, no problem. I say hello to them every day, that kind of thing. And then they went with someone else as well. So I didn't even have a chance to answer any questions or to receive any, I don't want to say negative feedback, but any feedback whatsoever. And the way I am, I'll go and ask, like, hey, I noticed you went with someone else. I just want to know, was there something that I should have shared more on, just for good feedback? They're like, no, Dwayne, you were great, man. We just went in this direction because of the relationship, and they help us get the house. So we just want to keep a good thing going. It's the power of the relationship.
Okay. So. All right. So besides, and we'll play around with some of the scripting in this conversation. Besides that, anything else that is a priority for you this week?
No. I think I just want to focus on what to say and that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the goal last week was to go on 2 appointments. How did you make out with that goal?
Had a great experience. Those 2 appointments went really, really well.
So you hit both of them? You went on 2?
You went on 2.
Okay, congratulations.
Yeah, it went really well. I think the first one, she was actually more concerned that I might forget about her, but I did a great job just following up and getting her information. And now she wants me to come back next week, Wednesday. And I have one that took place on Thursday. So we're supposed to have a follow-up call today. I haven't had a chance to sit down with him, but we've talked extensively over the phone. So I feel like when I gave him information on how he can get his roof repaired, that he really seemed to like that. So that was awesome.
And did they sign with you?
I think when I meet next week, Wednesday, I should expect to sign. She'd like me to talk to her daughter just so she can feel a bit more confident. She's a bit of a older person, so she wants to make sure that everything lines up well. And then with the one I'm going to have later today, I'm not sure if he's ready to sign right away. He had a bad experience with another realtor, and he seemingly, after talking with him on Thursday, looks like he wants to go with me. I think he's just looking for what else I can bring to the table. So
got it. So you've met with both of these people now. Did you ask for them to sign on the spot? Did you ask for this contract?
Well, with the one I'm having next week, I definitely did talk about the contract.
So no, so let me. My apologies, because I was under the impression you went on both of these appointments. So these are appointments you've already gone on.
Correct.
These appointments you've gone on, or appointments that you have coming up. My apologies for not.
Oh yeah. So these appointments I've gone on. And
okay. So the question then is, did you ask for an agreement at the appointment? Like, did you close?
I did
ask them to hire you.
I did ask for an agreement to both.
Okay.
So I would say I did kind of go for the quick close, in the sense of, this is what I am, this is what I do. I'm hearing what you have. I'm hearing what you want to do. I know the market, blah, blah, blah. When can I get to work for you? And both had reservations that told me that they need to either think about it. The gentleman that I'm talking to today wanted to talk to his wife, and the one I have next week wanted to talk to her daughter. So her daughter's in town on Wednesday, and that's where we're gonna continue that conversation.
Got it. Okay, cool. So you asked for the close. Both of them were in a place where they needed more time to think about it, which
exactly
kind of circles us right back to the the scripting conversation, right?
What to say? Yeah.
Well, so let me ask you this then. How important is that? I mean, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it for you to learn how to have those conversations?
It's
so
really
you can
important.
help people.
Oh yeah, it's really important. I think the initial discussion is getting easier for me. What's the harder part is that follow-up conversation. It feels like I will be reiterating everything that I've talked about.
Yeah, but let me just share something and tell me if I'm wrong, but I sense that there's a little bit of a conflict in you pushing for the close based on what you said earlier. And so maybe you're not gonna push for the close. And I don't mean push like be pushy. I mean help people be decisive is what I'm talking about. Like, is that true, or am I is that just something that I'm
think
missing?
no, I don't think you're inaccurate at all. I think to a percentage, I'm probably like pushing for the close closer to like 30 or 40%.
Okay.
Or feel that confident when
Yeah.
pushing for the close without coming across as too pushy and trying to set myself apart, but not be passive.
So 30 to 40% is how much you're at now?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
That's the confidence level as I go into it to push for the close versus I know I'm going to close. I guess I just don't have the notches under my belt to kind of smell when those smoke signals are pretty apparent.
Have you? I thought you were on one of our trains when we watched Grant's video, and he talks about always asking for the close. Like even when you first sit down at the table with somebody, you could just simply say, "So have you heard enough information to make a decision?"
I sure did. I do
It's a
remember
test
it.
close, right? Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
you
do
shared that,
remember it.
right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, so if you do that every time, that will put you at 100%.
It would. It would. It would. I think what I'm doing is I'm listening to what their body language says, what they do say, and I'm trying to listen to the cues, without getting thrown out. You know what I mean? If I pair too thirsty, sometimes you have a tendency to push people away. So
Too thirsty? What do you
too
mean?
thirsty, like, yeah, all right, well, did you hear enough? Hey, are you ready for me to get to work for you? And they go, well, hold on a second, Tiger. Hold on a second. Like, we need to think this over. I'm like, okay, no problem. I'm still gonna send you the contract digitally so you can read it. But
So is that in them, Dwayne, or is that on you? Are you putting is that how you feel when somebody does that, or is that how the other person's feeling that?
I'm obviously coming into this with my own reservations as well for how I would want to be perceived, or how I've perceived others who have come to me with, I want to call it aggressive, right? Approach. But still, I know that I'm in a business because I've never really sold before. I've never even telemarket called before, and I'm
Yeah.
doing it now. So I'm probably more sensitive than if I was doing it 5 years, to date. So it's I would say it is possible, likely possible, that I have
Yeah.
reservations as well.
So here's what I can, share obviously is most times we're actually a lot less. We can be a lot more assertive. If you want to use the word, it's up to you. You can use the word aggressive. I like to use the word assertive, right? And then we actually think we are. And here's the other thing is, and you said the word a couple times, confidence. When we're really, really confident, and that's why we talk about this in sales execution workshop. Remember the first thing I say, people need to get sold on what? First. It's from Grant. He says the first thing you need to be sold on is what? Do you remember?
Sorry, I don't.
No, you don't. Okay.
Wouldn't it be confidence?
You need to be watching some of those videos. Have you been getting the emails with the Cardone training? Okay.
I've been getting the video.
All right. So are you not doing your training?
I could be better on my training.
All right. Well, I mean, how committed are we to tightening up that training?
Well, I mean, I had a bit of a tricky week, but I know that without that training, sitting into your huddles is just not going to be enough growth. So I got most of all my tasks done last night just so I can focus better on.
Dwayne, it's not just about sitting on my huddles. It's about making you overall more effective. So what Grant says, to go back to that point, is the first thing you need to get sold on is yourself.
Hmm, hmm,
First and foremost, like when I show up,
hmm.
okay, I believe like I'm the best solution for this, right? When you and I jumped on the original call, I helped you make, right? I remember the call, like I had to work with you and help you make a decision because you didn't want to make a decision. You remember?
I sure did not.
Yeah. So, but I believe in what I do, and here we are. So the first thing we have to do, and this isn't about me, but it's about helping you become really, really sold and confident on your product and what you do, what you bring to the table. How does that sound? How does that make you feel?
That really sinks in for me because I know everything comes from confidence. You can see it in people, you can smell it on them. And I think I am a very confident person. I know though this is just a new industry for me, and I'm not trying to make
Okay.
that excuse, but I do want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. I don't want to step over boundaries or these are things that I think about.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about them less and less, but that's why I wanted to have these masterminds so that I could push through those barriers, those invisible barriers I'm creating for myself.
Yeah. So a couple things that are going to help you a lot in this area are number one is role play. How much are you role playing right now?
I've been role playing every morning.
Okay.
I have a gentleman that he's out of Detroit. I role play with him every morning, and I feel like I do really well with him. Obviously, though, I need to.
What are you role playing with him?
We role play FISBO.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's you using the scripts in our membership? What script are you using?
I'm using a lot of the scripts that actually I've heard in the clubhouse calls, as well as whatever I can remember when I read the scripts. So
all right. So I'm gonna give you a couple of an earlier homework assignment. So number one is I want you to go into the membership.
Okay.
And under the FISBO section,
Yeah.
there's a whole booklet that you can download.
Okay.
All right. You don't have to do this second. Well, you know what? As a matter of fact, you can if you want. If you're in front of your computer, you can go in to section. I believe which section is the FISBO section? Excuse me. Which section is the FISBO section? It's hold on. I should know off the top of my head. I believe it's section 4, but I'm logging in myself. And I want you to use these, okay? And the reason I'm telling you to use these is because I know they work. And they've consistently worked for year after year after year. Yeah, section 4.1 is I want you to go click on it. See where it says FISBO Mastery Booklet? Are you in there by chance?
Yeah, I'm not as yet, but I'm just pulling up your page. But go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, so you said earlier you're a tech guy, right? You're good at tech. So is my page well, there's two things that should be in your toolbar saved as favorites. Do you know what they are? What I'm going to tell you they are?
It's going to be, yes, you're going to tell me it's likely going to be your link to the training and the scripts. Where I can get access to all the lists of training.
Yep.
And gosh, what's the second one?
Take a guess. Cardone University.
Cardone University.
Yeah, I don't care if you don't have any other tabs in there. So those are the two. You want to be in there training, okay? I'm going to help you real estate specific, Cardone's going to help you sales specific. That's the partnership here between us. That's why I have that.
Okay.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Absolutely.
So that not only are you showing up, Dwayne, saying the right things, but you're going to have that fundamental background behind it of being able to close, being able to help people make a decision,
Yeah.
being able to help somebody move through uncertainty to a place of certainty where they don't have to say, well, yeah, I need to talk to my daughter or my son or whatever. They can say, you know what, this makes a lot of sense, Dwayne.
Got it. Okay.
And I know that's what you want, right? That's what you came to us for.
Exactly.
Or did you, or is that not true? Is there something
No,
else?
I came because I got frustrated with my results and my understanding. So it was more like I did it my way, and I've had some success, but it's just not consistent enough.
Okay. All right. So assignment number one is, and we're gonna check back. We want you to download those scripts.
Okay.
All right. Armando, Armando.
Oh yeah.
He posted in the link earlier today that he was looking for role play partners. He's consistent. He shows up. You don't have to worry about him not showing up. He's good because he's taking listings every week. I would encourage you to connect with him while he's got some openings if you want a really good partner. I'm not saying give up the guy you got. I don't know who he is. That's up to you. But I had 5 role play partners a week for my first 10 years. Think about that.
Yeah.
That's how important it is.
Yeah.
So get the right scripts first. Forget about the clubhouse stuff, man. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I promise you that, you met me on there. I ran that room for over a year and it grew and it was fun. But a lot of those guys on stage aren't even taking listings. Some of those guys that are giving you advice, they've never even taken a for sale by owner in their life. They're reading scripts. I'm not making that up. I'm telling you the truth.
Okay.
I mean, some have, but not at the level that I have.
I see.
Or not at the level that Grant has, Grant teaches, not at those types of sales level.
I see.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So I want you to get first the right scripts.
Okay.
And then the second assignment is we're going to download that booklet. Then the second is I want you to get at least one more role play partner. I would encourage you to get Armando if you can get him, because
I had a chance. I had a chance to work with him actually.
Okay.
So I'm going to commit to him, and I think that's the best way to go.
So when are you going to do that? When are you going to connect with Armando?
I mean, I'm going to text him right after this
call.
call.
You know what? Text him right now. You have your phone in front of you? Yeah, text him right now, because I think the message came through, an hour ago? Yeah, say Armando, I'm looking for a partner. All right. I'm telling you, it's going to be one of the best things you've done. Just respond, and I don't know, get 1 day a week, 2, whatever you can get. As many. I don't know what his schedule looks like, but he shows up. Also, Ben Wiseman, if you can get Ben. Ben is a strong role play partner. You know Ben?
I know Ben. Yeah.
Yep, Ben's good. If you got something going on, I'll help you out however I can. But as you know, I don't have the time to do the role play every day. But if you jump on our group call early and you say, hey, I want to role play that, I'm going to role play with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just hit Armando up. I said, I'm ready to commit, go play what works for you. Yeah.
All right, good. So those are your two main assignments so far. All right. Download those scripts, start role playing them, and get yourself a couple role play partners. How many role play partners do you want to put in place this week?
Man, I'd like to have at least 2 more, to be honest with you.
Okay. So you'd like to have them, or you're going to have them?
I'm going to have them. I know Armando will be a go. I know
Jennifer,
that.
dude, Jennifer's, if you can get Jennifer, she's no joke either. Shows up all the time, consistent.
Jennifer.
Jennifer Ferreira, she just, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I do know it.
The blonde,
blonde.
she's no joke. She's always there. So, you know,
Okay.
start hanging out with those guys. You know, I hate to, I don't want to bash poor Clubhouse, but I mean, you know,
Right.
a lot of those people have taken it off Clubhouse. They're not on, you know, you notice a lot of those people aren't on those calls anymore. And they're in a private group with us in the morning on
No.
Clubhouse. I mean on Zoom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that because we do our 8:45 call. I mean, you're on the 8:45. You're not on all
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah. I've been on the 845s this
Yeah,
week.
so we want to, you know, you need to jump back into more of those calls as well. That's what another thing I'd like to see you do.
Sure.
Do you have a calendar? Do you use a time block calendar?
I do. I basically use the Google Calendar. It's linked
Okay.
to the phone as well. So yes.
All right. So did you get the calendar that Sam sent out last week?
I sure did, and I added it as well.
Okay, good. So now you have the whole schedule. So just block out which of those you want to attend.
Okay.
And if you can't attend every, you know, what I say is do one a day. There's 2 calls every day. Pick either the huddle or the other call.
Yeah.
Then you're getting and at the same time, the more the training, when you do your Cardone training, it makes a big difference, and it takes you 10 to 15 minutes a day. That's it.
10 to 15. Okay.
Yeah. You know, if you just make that commitment every day to do that training, it's going to start to show. Going back to you talked about feedback.
Yeah.
Right. The feedback is going to come from the confidence. Right. When you show up and you're feeling more confident, then the person on the other side of the table is going to feel more confident. I think you even said that. Didn't you say that to me a couple of weeks ago? You said, remember you used one of Grant's lines. I can't remember what it was now. But was that you? No, I'm sorry. My apologies. That wasn't. Yeah. You know, it was someone else. Yeah. He was sharing how he said to the seller, he said the seller said, I need time to think about it. And he said, what do you need to think about? Like, what are you uncertain of? And he was surprised it even came out of his mouth. And then he said, it was Cedric. And then he said, so when you see Cedric on the call, ask him. He said, the seller was like, I don't know. That's a good question. He said nothing and signed the friggin' paperwork with him.
Wow.
Just by asking a question to get him to think.
Yeah. I probably would never do that. I mean,
well, you would if you were certain enough, and if you knew. Well, you tell me, what would it take for you to do that?
I guess seeing is believing. I'm apt to try anything at least once or twice, but I'm a little more reserved than to be like ask somebody like, what do you mean you don't like? It's almost a dig to some extent. Like like you got to be, you know what I mean? Like you got to be brainless to make this decision.
No. Well, that depends on how you ask the question, right? I mean, if your tonality is like that, then yeah. But if you're just like, well, what are you uncertain of, right? Like, I just provided you like for not like, right? Like if you should like, here's the way I look at it. When I provide information to people, I provide is so much information that they have everything they need to make a decision at the end. So worst case scenario, well, you know what? I'm not uncertain because of this, or I'm not uncertain because of that. So, and I thought we've talked about this, we may or may not have, but here's the reality. So if you could just say, well, what are you uncertain of? And somebody may give you an answer, or you could say, listen, the reason that people make need time to think about things is because of one of three reasons. Can I share with you what they are, Dwayne?
Sure.
Number one is either the product that they're looking at isn't going to work for them, or they don't believe in the product. So Dwayne, do you believe in our product?
I do.
Okay, amazing. The second thing is the price. So maybe a lot of times people don't feel that they're going to be able to walk away with the price, or they don't like the price that I've given them. So what do you think about the price that we have today here? Will you be happy if we sell the house for 550?
I'd be very happy.
Okay, perfect. And then the last thing is me. So, I mean, do you feel like you and I could do business together?
I don't know you, but you seem like a nice guy.
Awesome. Well, I am a nice guy, but do I feel like somebody that you could do some business together? Like, do you think I can get this job done for you?
You look like you can get it done. You seem to know what you're talking about.
Awesome. So let's not waste any more time being uncertain. Let's get this paperwork done right now and get this house on the market and get this done.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Right. So
Yeah.
what we do is we just help somebody create certainty.
I see.
I'll share this with you too.
I see. So is that the mindset of like you're leading them versus you are trying to convince them?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. How did that feel for you?
It felt like I was being led versus I didn't feel like you were pushing, but I felt like you were leading me to making a decision.
Yeah. Yeah. I need you to make a decision. Otherwise, what happens? I leave. The next guy shows up. He's more persuasive than me, and then he gets the business when I would have done a better job the whole time. That's why I need to be sold on myself. I need to believe that I am so freaking good that it's a disservice if anybody else gets their business. And I believe that. Right? Like people will say to me all the time, well, geez, people will tell me stuff like you're always talking about this and sales and that. Yeah, no shit. Cause I help people. Of course I'm always talking about sales because I know when people work with me, they do better. Why wouldn't I talk about sales all the time? Right.
Agreed.
So circling this all the way back full circle,
Yeah.
It comes down to that belief in yourself first, where you know that you're the best choice for them. And people need to be led sometimes. And a lot of times, Dwayne. And here's the thing, sometimes people will just be polite. They may like you just fine, and they're being polite because they have another appointment and they don't necessarily want to tell you that. Right? Or maybe they just said ahead of time, well, you know what? We're not going to choose any realtor till we have a chance to talk about it together, the husband and the wife. They say things like that sometimes. So now you're there, you can help walk them through that decision.
Yeah, I need help with that.
All it takes, well, look, first off, is it something that you want to do?
I do.
Okay. And how committed are you to learning how to do it?
I'm very committed.
Okay. And I know you can do this because you're really, really good, man. I can tell. You got a genuineness about you. You know, you can have that directness if you choose. And it doesn't have to be assertive or aggressive, as you know, it just can be as a, like, want to help you. Is it okay? Like you can literally ask somebody, is it okay if I help you become certain?
Okay.
Is it okay if I help you make a decision?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm game. I do want to get better. I do have my goal that I want to make, per month and for the year. So yeah, I'll do whatever it takes.
All right. Awesome. I know you will. So we got a couple of things. What were the assignments we gave you?
So you asked me to, work with Armando with role playing. I need to also consider hitting up Jennifer Ferreira and even Ben Weiss to see what their availability is, in addition to the one person I have, so that would be 4. And to download the scripts as well as check out the Cardone University, but also, commit at least 15 or more a day just on the Cardone University videos, just so I can get some some nuggets out of that.
Okay. So are you writing this down? So I mean, there's a few tasks you have here.
Okay.
Right. So the first one's super easy. Download the scripts, right? Get them somewhere
Yes.
where you can use them to practice. The next ones are tasks. These are tasks, not necessarily, right? Like these are so the task is you reach out to Armando. So how many role play partners do you want to have this week?
I'd like to have at least 3.
Okay, good. So the number's 3. You'd like to have 3 or committed to 3?
I can commit to 3 right now.
Okay, good. So you're going to commit to 3 this week.
Yes.
All right. And by what day will you have your 3 in place?
I would say today's let's say no later than Monday, I would say. If I shoot the text messages out now, I give some time for them to think it through and let me know what their availability is and kind of go from there.
All right, perfect. Perfect. And then what was the other thing we're going to do?
Oh, and then we're going to spend a little more time with Cardone University.
Yes. What time are you going to time block for that? Because that's one of those, like, I'll tell you what I do.
Yeah.
It's at 6 a.m. I do it at 6, usually done by 6:15, 6:20, and I'm on to my next thing. I get up early. I get up at 4:45. I have a routine. So you just decide what time you do it and it gets done.
Okay. Okay.
It's not a huge commitment.
It's not. It's really not. I've done it many a time when I was in the corporate world, getting up.
Okay. So what time is going to make sense for you?
I mean, I'll be honest with you, 6 a.m. does make sense. Because I got a whole household of children here. So 6 a.m. does make sense.
I love that time because no one bothered me, man. I get up at 4 sometimes just to have an extra hour of time by myself. Yeah. Same with you, man. I got a house full of kids too.
Really? Yeah.
Well,
all right. 6 a.m. Let me put it in here in the phone.
All right.
To buzz and go from there.
So you're going to share your calendar with me as well? Can I take a look at it?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
All right. So you're 6 a.m. All right. I'm making all this. All right, good. So we've got some good tasks and some work to get ready for next week. Let me ask you this. What's going to get in the way of you doing this?
That's what I'm thinking about because I do want to keep my commitments. I think the only challenge I have for this week, what maybe, fall behind some of my promises, I like to call them, like such as attending your workshops and so on, was that my son was a little ill. Things happen, but he's been sick since last week, Friday. So, we've been a little stir crazy, not sleeping much at all. And, I also have twin daughters who are like 2 years old. So, it's he's getting most of the attention right now, and he's 6 because of his little condition. But that's the only thing that I can see as a challenge because he's not been really able to sleep that long or through the night. My babies sleep better than he does. So I don't want it to be my excuse, but it has played a role in how I wake up, how I feel, and I usually push through. But that's been my challenge. But I'm not going to make excuses. I'm still going to commit because at the end of the day, I need to make sure that we maintain the lifestyle we have, and I'm sure everybody has their issues. We just got to push through. So I'm just going to do it.
I love it. I love it. So, and here's something I learned years ago. If you erase it, you replace it. That's all. So if something gets in the way of doing it exactly at 6, then, sometimes I have to do, be honest, sometimes I do my Cardone training at 10:30 in the morning, 11 a.m. because, maybe similar to you, I've got 2 daughters living at home and things happen. And, me, I got, COVID last. So yeah, things happen, but we do it at different times, or I'll bang it out on a Saturday. What I'm going to do too is I'm going to assign something to you, going back to our original conversation about the feedback.
Yeah.
I'm going to assign one of the Cardone lessons so you're going to get an email, and I want you to start watching Sales Execution Workshop. And I'm going to assign right from the beginning, because that's where it talks about number one step, getting sold on your product in you. Okay. Your process, your product in you, in your, it's what they say, you, your company, and your product. But it really comes down to all three of those and your process in the real estate. Like what does your process look like? I want you showing up and being so sold on what you do and your process that not asking for the business would make no sense to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And are you willing to test out the trial close at the beginning?
Heck yeah.
As soon as you sit down, say, have you heard enough info? Like, ask me right now. Like you just walked into my house. We sat, I showed you the house, and now you're going to ask me the question.
Dave, have I answered all your questions?
Well, not yet.
Okay. Well, Dave, if you
see, that's the wrong question, right? Because then it wouldn't make sense for you to ask that, right? Because now it would be inauthentic if after I said no and then you said, well, have you heard enough information to make a decision? Then it wouldn't fit, right?
Right.
But if I just said, so Dwayne, have you heard enough information to make a decision?
Have you heard enough?
Or have you seen? It could be seen. Either way, it's whatever if you're
heard enough,
if you're on the phone, it could be heard. If you're walking with somebody, it could be seen. If you start to understand people, some people operate based on visual, kinesthetic. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that whole chart.
Not yet.
Some people make decisions based on kinesthetic, which is feeling. Some people make it on auditory, meaning they hear it, and other people are visual. So if you're dealing with somebody that's a visual learner, I'm not gonna go in the weeds with this, right? We can talk about this on a future call, but for right now, just ask me. We just toured the house, so ask me the question.
So David, have you heard enough to make a decision?
Not yet.
Well, why not?
No. Say great, awesome. So, and that's what we're going to go into right now. What questions do you have? Do you have any questions for me, or do you want me to just go right into it?
Okay.
So do it again.
All right, we'll do it again. All right. So Dave, have you heard enough So David, have you heard enough to make a decision?
I mean, I think so.
Okay, David, what's on your mind? What questions would you have?
All right, good. It's better, right?
Yeah.
And if they say, well, no, not yet. Okay, great. So I'm going to answer your questions now. We'll go through this, and then at the end, I'll ask you again. All right?
I think I know what I'm going to do.
Because you're serious. You're there for the business.
Yeah. I'm going to think of the many ways I can say what you just said without having to say exactly what you just said. It's like my brain's way of making it like, adjusting the verbiage.
No. You have to say it the same way.
Same way?
You're not going to, that's like, there's a model, memorize, internalize, customize. Yeah, we've talked of memorize, internalize, customize first. It's like when you create a voice message for yourself, right? Like when you're doing your voicemail on your phone, how many times? Sometimes it takes 5, 6, 7 times before you like it, right? It's the same. The more you practice, you're going to get better. Practice that with Armando, practice it with Jen, and it's going to flow nice for you. Okay. Don't worry about changing it up. Get that first, okay?
Got it.
Can you commit to that?
Hell yeah, I can commit to that.
All right. I love it. Good. I love the hell yeah. All right. How'd we do today?
Man, I felt like I had a come to Jesus moment again. I got on this call feeling like, you know what, I had a feeling we are going to do like some exchanges, and I can see there's so much more growth that I've made, and I feel really happy that I made a decision, to ask for help. So I'm really going to double commit now that you've given me a little bit of one-on-one here, and it's really going to, in my mind, say, you know what, I did make a promise that I'm going to do this to myself, so I got to show up. Because if it was a client, I would have done it. I would have been on it, right? Because heck, I'm going to get paid, I'm going to get a referral, I'm going to get more business, et cetera, and on and so on. So there's a reward here, even though it's not a tangible reward.
Well, what do you mean it's not a tangible reward?
Because I'm rewarding myself, by showing up and committing to myself. And, for me, the growth is going to be internal, it's going to be.
Yeah, but it does, but it's both. I just want you to get that. It's you said even for a client, I would do it. Dwayne, this is going to get you the client. This is going to bring you tons and tons of clients.
Okay.
Right? I mean, this essentially, that's what we're doing here. We're helping you grow your business.
Sir.
Right. So you're internally growing, but it's going to make you a better business person. I just want you to get that. All right. So I appreciate everything you're saying, but yeah, you don't have to separate the two.
Okay. I'm open. I'm willing to learn, man. I'm going to do exactly what you need me to do. And I really appreciate it. So
good. So you're going to text me.
Yes, sir.
We're going to have a follow-up on this conversation. Okay.
Okay.
Because I want to see how you made out. I took a lot of notes. I added it here. So I want to hear about your assignment and also see a copy of your calendar. And I'm going to send you I'm going to assign a sales execution workshop so you can start watching that. Each video, I don't think any of them less than 10 minutes long. I'm sorry, longer than 10 minutes.
Okay.
So you can chip away at those. All right.
Okay. So when I watch those videos though, like,
I'll know you watch them too. The system tells me who's watching. So just an FYI. So when you hire some team members down the road, you can get them into the system and you'll know who's watching. As a matter of fact, I'm going to bring that on the group call this week. Let everybody know. I know who watches the videos. I don't. So, all right, brother.
Thank you so much, Dave.
Appreciate you. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you. If you need anything, text me. I'm around. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Excellent.
All right. Now talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.